In football, dynasties aren't built overnight, but they can fall in a flash.
They've done it! They've done it! Manchester City have done it! Once, twice, three times the champion!
For over a decade, Manchester City have defined dominance, redefining English football with tactical genius, ruthless efficiency, and Pep Guardiola's relentless pursuit of perfection. But in the 2024-25 season, something changed.
What they were doing, and here's Munoz, who was very involved then. Oh, it's exactly the same. Eze
Was this a decline, a temporary dip, or the painful beginning of a new rebuild? This is the story of Manchester City's most uncertain chapter yet.
It's stepped away and given the wrist to Fabregas. Surely now! Surely now!
So what really went wrong? Was it just bad luck, injuries, or has the system once ruled the Premier League started to crack? Let's break it down. We'll look at the tactics, the numbers, and the moments where it all started to fall apart. Because when a team like Manchester City stumbles, it's never just one reason. It's a story of decline, transition, and pressure at the highest level of football. Let's start on the pitch, tactics. This season, City's fluid positional play started to look less fluid. The transitions weren't as sharp, and the midfield control they were famous for, it started slipping. In the past, Manchester City's build-up was a work of art. It started with a back four spreading wide, two centre-backs positioned near the flanks, and Ederson acting almost like a third centre-back in the middle. Thanks to Ederson's elite passing, he wasn't just a goalkeeper, he was a key part of their positional play. From there, he had three clear options: the two wide centre-backs or the midfield pivot, usually Rodri, sitting just ahead of them. It was a clean and simple 2-3 structure to begin moves, the two centre-backs and Rodri forming a triangle ahead of Ederson. Then came the evolution. As the seasons progressed, Pep evolved the system further. Enter John Stones. Now instead of a single pivot like Rodri alone, City used a double pivot, Rodri and Stones, side by side. This meant the first line had three players, Diaz flanked by Ake Akanji or Walker, and the second line also had two central options instead of one. The result, opponents had to commit more players centrally, and that created more space out wide or in between the lines. City's attacking system mirrored this balance. When the ball reached the final third, one of the number 10s, usually Gundogan or De Bruyne, would push up to join Haaland. This created a three-man front line, with another number 10 and the two wingers, often Grealish and Bernardo Silva, behind them. Opponents were forced to choose mark zonally and risk spaces in behind, or go to a man-to-man and get pulled apart between the lines. Surprisingly, Pep's team also started going more direct. Not long balls for the sake of it, but quick vertical passes to bypass high presses and get into the opposition's half with numbers. It wasn't classic tiki-taka, it was intelligent, high-speed dominance. Dominance. There is no better word to describe Pep Guardiola's Manchester City over the last decade. They were balling on the pitch, outclassing teams week in, week out. Most goals scored in a season, most points in a Premier League season, most possession in a single match, most passes completed in a single game. This wasn't just a winning team, this was tactical suffocation. This was football control redefined. But now, let's roll back the numbers and compare that dominance to the reality of the 2024-25 season. At the time of this recording, City have scored just 70 goals in the Premier League this season. That's an average of 1.87 goals per game. Compare that to their average over the last 3 seasons. 96 goals per season, that's 29 goals fewer. This dip in goal efficiency is a red flag, and naturally, fingers start pointing at the striker. But is it really Erling Haaland's fault? Sure, Haaland hasn't hit his monstrous highs this season, but even now he's among the top 3 goal scorers in the league. So if City are struggling to score, maybe it's not about finishing. City's real problem this season. In past years, Kevin De Bruyne, Mahrez, Foden, Rodri, they didn't just control games, they created goal scoring actions consistently. Goal creating actions (GCA) measures the 2 key offensive moves right before a goal, like an assist or a pass before the assist. Last season, City often had multiple players averaging over 1 GCA per 90. This season, only Jeremy Doku stands out, and even he is averaging just 0.81 GCA per 90. That's far below the output this team needs. Now look, this is what Oliver Glasner said in an interview after the match. We scored the first time we were in their half, and then we defended with every single phase of the body and a great goalkeeper, a great mentality and togetherness, said Glasner. We analyzed the games when we conceded a lot of goals to City, and when we saw that when they find the pocket, we are vulnerable. That happened in the first half, and when they got the penalty, Kawada was a little bit impatient, stepped out, and they placed quick passes into the gaps. This is what you want to avoid. We gave them more possession without letting them into the pockets. We let them cross. We know we can defend those. It was all about being patient and finding the right moments. Now let's look at the highlighted line, being patient and finding the right moments. What do you think? Being patient and finding the right moments. That's not just a tactical mantra, it's a survival instinct, especially when you're playing against a juggernaut team like Manchester City. City's game thrives on control, 65%, 70% and even 80% possession, normal stats. They pin you back, they suffocate, they pass and pass and pass. But what happens when the opponent doesn't press? What happens when they wait? When they sit back, stay compact and look for that one mistake? That's the possession paradox. More ball, more risk. Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo exploited City's high defensive line, especially when Stones or Walker were caught in midfield. And that's the thing. Guardiola's commitment to control can stretch the field too far, leaving just 1 or 2 defenders to deal with elite pace on the break. The defensive line is high. Fullbacks invert, leaving flanks exposed. Midfielders push up, hunting control. One turnover and the shape collapses. Teams like City thrive when they suffocate space. But when teams like Madrid exploit space, and in those little battles, the more you try to control, the more dangerous one mistake becomes. This season wasn't just about bad form or tired legs or injuries. It was about the evolution of tactics around City. Teams have learned to weaponize patience, and that's something Guardiola has to counter, not with more possession, but maybe with new patterns, more balance, or even adaptation.